We're live. Hey, welcome to today's show. Today's show is something that's near and dear to me. Today's show is on cancer, cancer awareness, and also about a Team 24 fundraiser for the American Cancer Society. So, a little bit of background. I am a cancer survivor. 9 years ago, this June, so this month, I was diagnosed with stage 4 prostate cancer. It's amazing how many people don't know the story. People who know me, people who I've reconnected with don't know my story. And for all of you out there who do know my story, let's just a reminder of just exactly how my life's been the past 9 years. I was standing on the side hill in Portland, Oregon, because of this great game of lacrosse, gave me an opportunity to be out there with one of my best friends in the world, Ryan Powell, and I get the call that my PSA was 27.13. For the you who don't know, your PSA, your prostate specific antigen count, should be for somebody my age, and my age was 52 and a half at the time, should be between 0 and 4. This is something that definitely needs to be taken when you're 50 years old. And I had my last physical at about 50 years old. And at that time, I showed no sign of cancer. However, my doctor at the time, lifelong doctor, passed away, or actually stopped. He didn't pass away. He stopped practicing, and in the meantime, before I was diagnosed, he did pass away. But so I was in between doctors and way too busy to have my digital exam and or my numbers taken. And lo and behold, I started having some symptoms and some problems. And I went to the doctor, and I got all the way to end of my physical, and the doctor hadn't done anything, a digital exam or anything. And I asked, I said, Doc, how about my prostate? He said, Oh, we'll test it. And he checks a little box. So I could have possibly gone even further into the progression of my cancer had I not had an inkling of some of the problems I was having and that it was related to prostate cancer. Now, I don't want to go into what those symptoms are. If you're a man, definitely need to be screened at age 50. I'd even say 40. My sons, for instance, because of my early onset aggressive prostate cancer, need to be tested at an earlier age. So, anyway, diagnosed with prostate cancer stage 4 means it has escaped. And contrary to what a lot of people are believing, currently there is no cure for me. And I'll, at this point, always have prostate cancer. But thank the Lord that the doctors have stayed one step ahead of it, and I change medications constantly. And what they do is they drive my cancer back, basically by depriving my body of testosterone and everything that goes with that. But cancer's a smart, tough enemy, and it keeps evolving and finding different ways to grow. And so what they do is they add a different round or a scheme combination of meds to keep me relatively safe from the growth of my prostate cancer. However, I live with the symptoms every day. And when somebody says, "Oh, you're in remission," well, whatever that means different things to different people. But once again, they can't cure my cancer, so I'm learning to live with it. And thank God that I'm at Memorial Sloan Kettering in New York City, and I elected to go there when I sat across from somebody in Syracuse, and the vibe was just absolutely horrible. But I will tell you this: when somebody says you have cancer, I saw a recent TV show where now all of a sudden the voice of the doctor goes to the voice of Charlie Brown's adult, wah, 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 wah. I'm not hearing anything. All I heard was that I had cancer. And then when I went home and perseverated about it, I was actually on Comet Field coaching the Comets in summer program. I got the call, and they said that we need to meet with you right away. And oh my goodness, went home. I picked my wife up and I went there. And what the doctor told me was that there was a 75% chance. And at this point, I start hearing wah, 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 thinking, hey, 75% chance of a 5 year survival says, I'm going to kick the daylights out of this thing. Well, guess what? I heard all wrong. I had a 25% 5 year survival with this disease. And once my wife straightened me out and gave me a reality check, we went to Rochester, and my actual percentage of survival was lower. And I said, forget this. And because of my lacrosse associations around the country, around the world, if not, God has enabled me to have a fast track into Sloan Kettering, which doesn't ordinarily happen, and a quick evaluation, go through all of the tests that are involved. Let me tell you, men out there, if the reason why you stay away from being tested for prostate cancer is the digital exam, and it is no fun. If you had any idea what I went through for the next 2 months before my actual surgery, you'd take that digital exam every day. The most, first of all, humiliating, and then second of all, demeaning. And that was just from an internal feeling about this. But I knew it had to be done because, I'm in the fight for my life, and I love life. If you can't tell that, I love life. I was willing to do whatever they wanted me to do. In fact, I enrolled in a study, and one of the arms was to use chemotherapy on this cancer that I had. And I went home and I was scared to death. From I was with my dad in '97 when he had colorectal cancer, and was with him for his chemo and then radiation treatments. And I saw what that can do to a person, and I was scared to death that I was going to have that arm of the study, which I ended up not having that arm of the study. And I have no idea about how that arm turned out. All I know is that the arm that they positioned me into, it's worked out. I mean, I'm a miracle of modern science, if you will. And there's a lot of men in my position. And the overall national survival rate was 31%. Sloan Kettering's survival rate was 35%. And my doctor in Memorial Sloan Kettering is the greatest man I've ever met. I mean, he and I have become friends, and I trust him with my life. And in fact, today, when I'm done with this show, I'm going to Lowville, and I'm going to be tested every 3 months. They test my PSA. If it hasn't risen, then we continue with what we do. And if it does rise, then, we go to plan C or D, whatever it happens to be. I mean, I'm at the mercy of the doctors. That's the way it is. I count myself a 95%, or 95% of the time. I live as if this is my last day on earth, and I don't have cancer, and I'm going to live life to the fullest. And then there is that period of time where I'm scared to death what these numbers are going to show. So currently, I'm taking an injection every 3 months. It's called Lupron, and once again, it deprivates my body of testosterone and everything that comes with that. And rather than tell you about it, if you're that interested about it, go look it up. Look it up. So next time you see me, you're not thinking, "Oh, this guy's healed," or "This guy's cured." Now, I do believe that God has healed me. I really do. However, the numbers show that he hasn't, and maybe he hasn't yet, but I'm still trusting that he will. But in the meantime, the whole point, the whole message of me telling you about this is that we as a person, as a human, we want to assume that everything's well and good, and there is an end to things, and there's remission and there's cures, and there are, but far less of us receive that than you might think. So anyway, that's enough about my story. I just want you to understand that I'm out here working my tail off, and my sons Tony and Mario with Team 24. What that shield is with the 24, Mario and Tony came up with this, and we started raising money and doing things for cancer awareness immediately. And I tried to, you know what? I have this for some reason. I've got to live with this for some reason. I got to figure out what it was. And so we've raised a good chunk of money for the American Cancer Society. I'll tell you about the American Cancer Society. I know they do research and I know there's administrative costs. And you know what? You can tear anything down you want to tear down. But I'll tell you this, I was in New York City for 9 weeks undergoing radiation treatment, and I was staying at the Hope Lodge, which is on 7th Avenue. You walk, yeah, actually 32nd Street, just off 7th Avenue. You walk out, you turn your head, and you can look down and see Madison Square Garden. And they let me stay there and a caregiver. And my caregivers included my son Tony, my wife Carmelita, and my brother Dom. They tag teamed it, and I went to made the trip to Sloan Kettering every day for 9 weeks, and my machine number was 132. And I laid hands on it, and I prayed that machine was going to do the job. And even though it didn't kill all my cancer, it did help in keeping me here today. Coming up on my 9th year anniversary of being a prostate cancer survivor, stage 4. When you hear stage 4, it means it's out and about the body, and it's chances are it's always going to be there, and it's trying to take a hold somewhere. And thanks to these great doctors and researchers, American Cancer Society, and other places that, hey, we're staying a step ahead of this. So keep me in your prayers as I go and give my blood today and go get an injection next week. And hopefully tell me to keep taking those 4 basically chemo pills every night. And that combination with my injections is doing the job. Some people would say, "Oh, how can you live like?" I'll tell you how you love life, man. You got kids, you got family, you got beautiful wife. That's how you do it. You do it because you hang on to every second you can get. Now, thankfully, I'm a man of faith, and when my time is done, it's done, and it's going to be better up there. But guess what? Right here, I still got people who need me, and that's why you fight. Hey, let me move on to just a little bit of information about cancer. And I want you to know that 1 in 2 men will develop some sort of cancer in their lifetime. This, according to the statistics of the American Cancer Society, and 1 in 3 women. Now, men, your chance of getting prostate cancer is 1 in 9. Women, your chances of getting breast cancer is 1 in 8. So those are the 2 primary cancers that differentiates men and women. And you got to remember that they factor in all the different cancers. And certainly, if there's a family history, then your chance of cancer increases. And guess what? You can run from it, but you can't hide from it. So if, let's say, 1 in 3 people get cancer, what I'd like you to do with me right now is close your eyes, and I'd like you to think, okay, I want you to put your 2 favorite people in the world other than yourself, one on your right and one on your left. And understand that one of you is going to get cancer in your lifetime. So, with that being said, why am I raising money? Why do we want to raise money for cancer? Well, because it's the only thing that we can do as a family that's stricken with this disease and has lost family members to this disease, to actually feel like we're doing something. We're doing something to maybe to help somebody down the line. Now, I know I'm sweating on camera down here today, and it's a little warmer in my studio, but I wanted to wear my Team 24 sweatshirt. You can get yourself a sweatshirt like this too. And actually, it's a little different. It's got a white insignia. We're taking the red away, but the light blue is a prostate cancer color. And then the thing that we are offering for our fundraiser is a shield with a 24 in it. We have a light blue for prostate cancer, dark blue for colorectal cancer. We have a pink for breast cancer. We have a purple, which is pretty much all cancers and cancer survivors, and an additional color that has to do with leukemia and blood type diseases. You can go to Team 24, the Team 24 website. You can go to the Game of Crosses .org website. You can go on Tony Ventiquattro or Tony V's Facebook page. Lots of places to order this. You only have until the 9th to order a t-shirt like or a sweatshirt like this. You choose your color. In fact, I ordered a dark blue, my most recent. And the reason why I ordered the dark blue was, well, I got the light blue, but my best friend in the world, Mr. John Blondin, or John Brondon, from my best man at my wedding, he's recently was diagnosed with colon cancer, and the prognosis for John is great. He had surgery, and it looks like that's as far as they have to go right now. Because why? Because they caught it early. Colonoscopy caught it early, and saved my friend and his beautiful family a lot of other things that they'd have to deal with. But anyway, so I'm going to be wearing the dark blue one as soon as they arrive. My wife and I ordered ours last night. Also, included in this order is going to be the same 5 colors. We're going to get the mask. We're going to have the kind of the pull up mask that more breathable, and then we're going to have the traditional mask with the 24 on there. And once again, 5 color choices. All proceeds from these are going to go to the American Cancer Society, and I owe them my life. My family, the financial situation I was in at the time, I couldn't afford to be in New York City, and for lodging for 9 months. There's no way. One of 64 people when I was there. So figure out. We'll try to put it on the display at the bottom of this on our video cast. And my son Tony, who does all of the important stuff to make this podcast easier for me, he's going to make sure that it's on some links so that you too can order. But you have to order by the 9th. And appreciate you living the cause here and supporting the cause. This is a difficult thing for me to talk about. Not so much from my perspective, because I feel pretty good about it. When I was traveling and doing some speaking around the area and actually around the country about this, actually, and I spoke about this in Israel when we were there a couple summers ago. I'm pretty comfortable with where I'm at, and glad to be alive, and treat every day like it's my last, and all the things I talk about. But I want to tell you what, in 1997, when my dad got this disease, and he was going to beat it, 70% chance he was going to beat colorectal cancer. And somehow, some way, he lost that fight. And to watch somebody go through that you love and care about and be there every step of the way. I want to tell you what, prior to that, I didn't pay any attention to cancer. And after that, I ran from any mention of cancer. I was so disgusted and so mad and so angry. And that might have fed into to why I didn't take good enough care of myself. But that's not going to happen to me again, or anybody I can bend their ears. A friend of mine, I said, hey, I don't know if you heard my story. And they said, oh, I heard your story, as if they didn't want to hear it again. That's too stinking bad. You don't want to hear it again. How many times do we have to hammer on you so that if you're a woman out there, that you're getting your mammograms, and if you're a man out there, you're getting your prostate test done? Come on, man. It's not about you and some miscomfort or some discomfort for a while. It's about the people that you love, because they're the one who are going to go through this thing with you. And if it weren't for the support of my wife Carmelita and my 2 sons, and people like my brother Dom, I tell you what, everybody's going to be there with you when it starts. They're all going to be there with you, and then all of a sudden they start falling away. And I understand that, because as humans, we want to move on. We want to pretend everything's okay. But those people really close to us know the difference. And I want you to keep that in mind when and if you are on the end of you have cancer. There's some great success stories out there. I have a friend in Florida who is a prostate cancer survivor. I have another friend in Florida who's gone through some difficulties with cancer in the mouth and in the throat, and he's just kicking the daylights out of it. And it's all has to do really with frame of mind and peace of mind, and guess what? They call it a fight, and I don't know how it could be possibly be a fight, because nothing you can do other than let somebody else do it for you. You have to give yourself up to a great medical team, and you have to trust in them, and then it's everybody else around you with that support that keeps you going. But I don't know if fight's the right word, but if I ever think of the right word, I'll certainly share it with you. But anyway, so cancer, it's chasing you down, and if it's not chasing you down, it's chasing down somebody that you love. Get your hand, or excuse me, get your head out of the sand and face up to this like a man or like a woman, and be proactive to make sure that you don't put yourself, but maybe even more importantly, your family in a bad position. I was aggravated at and beat myself up for months over how stupid I was because something was going on. I didn't do anything about it, let alone miss all of the signs and the people out there telling you do this, do this, do this. Why they're talking to somebody else? No, they're talking to you. They're talking to you. You talking to me? Yeah, I'm talking to you. You go do something about it. One of the greatest things that happened. I was speaking in Lafayette at a group of men and one of my friends invited me to speak, and they had set up a testing for PSA testing in the back of the room, and a group of about 80 men, and three of those men uh, found out that they had beginning stages of prostate cancer, and all I ever wanted to do is help just one person. That's all I wanted to do. But I want to tell you what. Let me tell you about some of my other experience. I told you about my dad. How about while I'm battling cancer, a former athlete of ours, 34 years old, he was a sheriff in Onondaga County, ends up with a colorectal cancer, and within a few months he passed away. It's like, are you kidding me? You couldn't be any stronger and tougher than this kid, and he was a great football player for us at Carthage. And guess what? 34-year-olds, they lose their battle too. I had a most recently, I had a friend with a juvenile cancer in his leg, and the odds of the if they removed his leg, the chances of the cancer spreading were very much diminished. Had his leg removed, and then lost his life too. Yeah, yeah, you think he didn't see this coming? We don't. You don't see this coming. It affects people of all ages. It doesn't care, color, race. Um, who your mom and dad are, who you think you are, how much lifting, how much training. It does, it just happens, and it sneaks up on you and it grabs a hold of you. But you can do something about it, people. And so, hey, so I need your help in helping us raise some money for the American Cancer Society. But it's more about the awareness of whole. We're not going to raise millions of dollars, hopefully hundreds of dollars, not even thousands, hopefully hundreds of dollars, and we'll turn it over to the American Cancer Society. But this is about the conversation about, hey, what's that shield on your chest? Well, it's not about Kirk A. Ventiquattro. It's not about me. It's about it's about the American Cancer Society. It's about cancer awareness. It's about the toughness it takes for the fight. But it's about the awareness. It'll open up the doors of communication for you to say, "Hey, I got a friend who battles cancer every day, and I'm just one person of the many that you see out there." And hopefully, if and when you're going through something like this, or somebody in your family gets a diagnosis, give me a buzz. I'd love to talk to them about it and tell them how my faith has helped me through this, and how level headedness has helped me through this, and about developing a great team has helped me through this. Not just your support system at home, and the support system starts off big and ends up being small, and that's a warning out there to others too. Don't be that person. Oh, I'm there for you, and then go away, and then go away. People need rides. They need relief. They need help, especially in that first initial year of trying to beat their said disease. So don't be that. Be the person who's there to help. Be the full timer. Be the person who makes time to help people through this. Hey, I wasn't that person. Okay, I wasn't that person. I needed those people, and now I am becoming. And I have become one of those people. So I'm there for you. I get calls all the time from people, not just with prostate cancer, but other things. And I'm not afraid to tell them, hey, if you got a great team here or in Syracuse, then great. But if you don't, you only got one shot at this. So go where you need to go. And I have people I've thanked all around the country. I had calls from people making appointments for me at some of the best medical institutions in the United States, if not the world. And I chose to go to Memorial Sloan Kettering in New York City. And I really believe that that decision is the reason why I'm here today. The made the right choice to go with the right team. So anyway, hey, that's today's show. Hopefully I didn't bend too many. Hopefully you didn't run from this show. But and how about show us some support? How about find a way to go on the gameofcrosses.org or Team 24 Facebook page, or even at the bottom of this. Tony's going to attach this some places. How about going in there and showing some support by ordering a face mask or a T-shirt of your color? If you can't decide what color to get, go with prostate cancer, the light blue if you're a man, or if you're a gal, go with the pink for breast cancer. I'm going with the dark blue in honor of both my dad and my buddy from Rochester, New York, who's kicking the daylights out of colon cancer as we speak. So choose your color. I could also go with purple, but I still have trouble with purple. I'm sorry, but I do. As a prostate cancer survivor. Hey, if you're going through something and you need some help, Team 24 is there for you. My phone number is 315-783-6589. I can talk to anybody anytime. And guess what? Together we can beat this thing, not just on an individual level, but from a level of throwing money somewhere where research and other resources can be added to people's fight. Coach V, I love you guys. It's always great to be on here. Hey, look, I've got a new haircut. How do you like my new hair? It looks pretty good, right? Hey, felt good to get a haircut. I found out I didn't like long hair, So, and thank God that that some of this nonsense is coming to an end. But hey, I love you guys. I'll talk to you later. Hey, help us beat cancer. See you. Bye.